Did you know that the Chandler housing market still favors the sellers, but buyers like you are getting more options? Right now, there are about 3.61 months of inventory. That is actually up 7% from last month and 42% from last year. Translation: more homes to choose from when you're searching for your first place. Homes are selling for about 97.88% of list price, which means you may have a little room to negotiate, just not too much. On average, they are staying on the market for 37 days, so you got some breathing room, but don't wait too long for the good ones. Now, here's the big number. The median sold price in Chandler is $547,000. It may sound high, but remember, that's the middle point. There are homes that price both above and below that, depending on what you are looking for. Let's take a closer look at what's happening in our market this week, because we're seeing some interesting shifts that matter, whether it is in Arizona, locally, or nationally. The first thing that we realize is actually the number of supply of houses in Arizona as of today start coming back. Okay, we are now on an average of 2,200 new homes per week. This is the level that we haven't seen since May 2025. To put this into perspective, actually this number is up 6.4% compared to last September, and a huge jump up to 29% compared to September 2023. About half of these new listings arrived just before the weekend. Home buyers, this gives you a lot of options for priming the show time. Okay, perfect for showing times. This increase in supply could be enough to reverse the recent downtrend in comfort supply index. That means more and more difficult for the seller to sell their house because there's more and more competition on the market. I have to be emphasized, this number, even though it's high, but it's still way below the average, which is about 26 to 2,800 that we saw last spring. Interestingly, now here's the thing that interests. As you know, the interest rate has been dropping since 3 weeks ago. It's not just bringing more buyers. We see that there's a huge increase of demand. It's also bringing more sellers to list more homes. My theory is this: those are the sellers that has been stuck in a low interest rate for such a long time, and they still want to move up. A lot of people want to move up or move down, right? But they're stuck with a low interest rate and they don't want to get rid of that, and therefore they've been waiting. So now as the interest rate goes down, there's a chance for them to buy, and that's the reason why they're ready to sell. And of course, this trend of increase in supply of houses is also a warning signal, so I will be continue to follow the market and report to you as soon as possible to see if the number of supply go above the warning level or not. As for the closing, in August closing, we have the August as of today, we have about 5,875 closed transactions. That is actually down 1.5% from August of last year, 2024, and down 3.8% from July of 2025. Breaking it down a little bit for you. For new home, we have about 1,308 closing. That is down 10% compared to last year, but nearly up 4% from July. On the other hand, about the resale homes, 4,567, such a nice number, right? 4,567 closing. That is up actually 1.3% compared to previous year, but down 5.8% months to months. What about the price? In overall, we see that there's a drop in number of homes that are sold when you compare between July and August and versus the August of last year. What about the price? Price is actually holding steady with a little difference between the two. Median sold price for the entire Phoenix area is $475,000. That is actually up 1.1% from last year and slightly higher than July. New home, in the other hand, 535, almost 535,000. That is up 4.2% year over year and also 0.6% from July. So in contradictory with a lot of people about home price actually goes down. As you see, every single number indicates that the home price actually go up, especially for new home, 4.2% compared to previous year. The reason? A lot of builders providing good incentive. We're talking about 3% interest rate, 4% interest rate, 6% in closing cost concession, even somewhere they do 10% in closing cost concession. Okay, that encourages a lot of buyers purchasing a home, because actually that is the most challenging topic that I hear every single buyer talking about: interest rate. Closing cost is too high, affordability is too much, and the buyer and the builder, they resolve the problem by providing the concession, well, by also raising the price. As you see here, 535,000 is actually more than the median sale price of about 60,000. Okay, what about the median sale price of the resale home? 449, 450. Pretty much doesn't change compared to last year. This is a good lesson, right? For resale home. My advice is that spend some money to make your home look much better, and providing concession, willing to provide concession to the seller, to the buyers, so that your house is more attractive to everybody else compared to everyone else. We can talk more about the selling strategy later on in a different conversation. This is not for the purpose of today, okay? But for context, okay, the resale median peaked at 486 back in May 2022. Since then, it's already dropped about 7.4% since then, and that converting to about $36,000 drop since May 2022. The new home median hit its high in January of 2025 at about 540, and now it's only a little bit slightly drop of 535, okay, showing the builder are holding the ground. And in my experience, the reason that the builder can holding the ground is because the home is new is one thing, right? Ready, moving ready. And number two is the concession amount that they offer. So even that the price is higher in the same area, the buyer seems to be willing to continue buying as long as they can have a good deal, as long as they have a good interest rate. And you know what? The other thing that they do, home warranty. So if the seller of the resale home can mimic somewhat the builder do, then of course that will attract the buyers. All right, that's enough about in Arizona. Let's talk about the national level. The first thing that we are going to look at is the inflation level. The Federal Reserve wants inflation that is closer to 2 to 2.9% target, but right now it's still above that level, about 2%. Now it's still at 2.9, so it's still a little bit above, and that trend has been like, you know, above the target for since 2023. Long time. And the tariff may not even help, okay? So a lot of experts say that it could push the inflation higher in the next couple of months. And the reason why we have to worry about the inflation is this. When the inflation is keep high, the federal has to keep the interest rate at a higher level to prevent even higher inflation. And therefore, we want the inflation rate to actually go lower so that the interest rate can be released a little bit, relieve a little bit, and get lower. As of right now, we don't have that signal yet. If not, it's actually a worse signal. It's actually better since 2023, right? But for the last couple months, for the last actually couple years in 2024 even, there's pretty much no change. Sometimes it go up, sometimes it go down. Like for example, May 2025, it's go to like 2.5, 2.4 here, but then now it's go up again to 2.9. So this is definitely one of the things that at the national level, this is one of the things that we should take a look at. What about unemployment? Okay, unemployment rate right now is at 4.2%, which is a historically strong, okay, and signal for the overall job market hasn't collapsed. A lot of people think here and there, a lot of people lose their job, right? But when we look at the number, it's actually only 4.2% unemployment rate. And look at this. It has been like this, very similar to inflation. It has been like this since like actually May of 2022. The highest is in May of 2020. Okay, when there's a COVID, of course, right? But then after that is we already has the reduction of unemployment rate, and we have been seeing around 4%, very, very low. In the other hand, though, the number of job growth is actually not so great. It's grow, like for example, July of 2024 is 2025 is actually only grow like below 100,000. It's only like 90 or 80,000. Okay, it hasn't been increased a lot, okay? And I think that's the reason why a lot of people think that may be challenging to find a job in nowadays. Whoever still have a job, I mean, obviously the number of unemployment rate, they'd still be able to find a job, but it's just more difficult, more challenge to find all at once. So that's the situation of the current market right now. What does everything mean for the buyer and the seller? For the buyers, more inventory is hitting on the market, which means there's more choice, okay, and potentially more negotiation power for you. For the seller, price are stable, but the supply is climbing, okay? Similar, okay? More inventory. Standing out at the right price. Presentation is a key. Prepare the house better. Giving concession, those are the things. Giving home warranty, those are the things that make the home better for the buyers, make it more easy for the buyers. Mimic the strategy that the home builders do so that you can sell your house easy and faster as well. Thank you so much everyone for watching today's episode. And if you are interested in receiving a weekly market update, feel free to go to my website right here, scan the QR code, or you can go to magicalsuccessrealty.com, go to the blog, go to the market update section and sign up for it. All right. Thank you so much and have a good day. Bye-bye.